Alright guys, we're talking about Season 1, Episode 7 of The Umbrella Academy. So things are popping off here.
Okay, the notes are tight, but long.
Alright. So this episode was pretty decent for me.
I had some ups and downs.
What is your down? We'll start with that.
Oh, that's way at the end. Vanya finally uses her powers, and it kind of sucks.
Yeah, well, I wonder if her powers are controlled to one thing, or if we're going to see they have a broad spectrum of uses, and that's just how they manifested this time. I'm very much interested in the idea of if he hired those dudes to beat his ass.
Oh my God, thank you. I wrote down the same thing.
Because it just seemed so
so weird.
Who are these fucking hicks? Is
We're
this
comfortable
what they do?
on your car or whatever, right? Without any sort of, like, you had to have them in the restaurant with some weird altercation or some dumb thing happening.
Yeah, no, it was just too perfect not to be planned. So
I think it was
if it's not planned, I'm like, where are they?
Well, and he said, like, I know this restaurant. I'm going to tell you all about it. We have to go to this restaurant. Trust me, it's a great restaurant. He kept saying weird shit where I'm like, okay. So it felt planned to me, but I can't imagine that he was like, beat me so bad that my eyeball explodes or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Well, I picture them cutting to a comment of the thing and if I'm not in the hospital, you don't get the other half of this money.
There you
like
go.
Some fucking thing like that. Like,
nice.
Like it has to be real.
You got to make it look real.
And them saying some snide thing like, oh, we'll put you in the hospital.
It's going to look real.
For what you're paying us, and it's going to be like a lot of money.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's what I'm picturing, and if it's not that, I'm a little disappointed because it seems too coincidental to ever have happened.
It's a bit weird. So before I move on, like the part that sucked to me was it expands like an orb, and then we do like bullet time spinning that looks like a bullet time tutorial. Again, I don't need things to be like good, but it just looked so dumb and bad that I'm like, ugh, like because I've been waiting for more stuff, and like her just screaming in the rain and like the street lights start moving a little weird. Like that's cool. I like a nice understated thing, but like the orb and the freeze frame and the like spinning, I was like, that stinks.
The thing I liked about it was how violently they bashed. Like one guy's head like explodes against the fucking wall.
When the guy hits the wall and like slides down, there's just blood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, that could only happen if he hit the wall like really hard, right? Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
So the thing about that would make you like cops would eventually come.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, how did you fucking explain that? Like,
I know.
I don't know. They threw themselves into the wall. My friend's hurt.
She knows
I'd be like,
Kung
you're on
Fu.
trial for murder. You killed all four of these people. Like, what the fuck?
I know.
So like that was weird, and I'd like to know more about that.
I'd like to know
what happened
more
there.
about that.
We see that it indeed is his eye, as I've suspected a while. I like
well,
it. I didn't think I thought he already had lost.
I was
his
just
eye,
gonna say you thought he already had the eye, and this is my other like. So I have like bad, and then like A B C D E F G like sub points, right? So that's another one where it's like I think you need like at maybe more than 2 days of like surgeries and like prosthetic installation.
Yeah,
stuff.
there's what like a day and a half left of the fucking world. So somehow he gets out of the hospital before then,
and has the eye in his head to be plucked out. Like he's not holding it in a bag, right? It had like blood on it and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, he pulls it out of his fucking head.
So and like. I don't want to be a stickler for things, but when I'm predicting this awesome mystery and trying to put all the pieces together, there's stuff that I rule out because that's not possible.
Yeah.
It isn't possible even I think within 1 week to be injured and like have a fake eye installed and then be back on the street to participate in the thing at the end of the week.
No, agreed.
And this is late in the week, so I'm like, well, no, I didn't predict that because that's weird. It doesn't make sense.
That's why in my head he had already had an eye in his head.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
It didn't seem plausible that could have happened after the fact.
And
why would you even predict that?
That's what
I
I'm
think
saying.
he'll lose an eye and get an eye. Yep.
This week, right? It makes no sense. And continuing back, he was in prison, which is a perfect time to get your ass beat to the point where you need a fake eye or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or something, right? Or maybe his dad beating him or like whatever, right? And now we go all the way back to the beginning.
But that wouldn't explain why it wasn't produced yet. And this
is
the only way that that
sure,
works.
that it was a future eye.
Yeah,
exactly.
But maybe give it more than a week before the apocalypse. Maybe go back a month before.
Something
Who
like knows?
That. Yeah,
it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. To keep going, because we'll just round out Harold Jenkins. He is, in fact, right. I think last time we said I don't know what Vanya's boyfriend's name is, but I'm pretty sure his real name is Harold Jenkins, right?
Yeah,
and it's obviously Harold Jenkins. That's fine, right? So we got to see his like history, and his history is basically just Marvel, Netflix, Daredevil's, Wilson Fisk plus the Incredibles syndrome. Basically,
Yeah, that is a fair comparison.
mashed together. And real quick, minor complaint. I like hate the fact that he only got the book that explains Vanya like that same week too.
Yeah.
So
this isn't even a plan that was like laid out.
I expected like for years.
This is impromptu shit.
In prison. Like, this is my master plan. I'm going to do all this and make it happen. But he really only would have known that Vanya has powers 3 days ago. So this is the whole thing. Is he that good? Because he should be better then if he's that good. I don't know. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Well, it's not even necessarily that he is that good. It's that Vanya is so unloved and fucking distant that anyone showing her the slightest amount of affection can fucking just slide in those DMs.
And like he gets those digits, man. And the whole family is so shattered and everything's so messed up. You see him holding up the paper. You know, Reginald was the name. Reginald Hargraves, deceased, and mourn the city or whatever. And then he goes over and dumpster dives and all that stuff. So yes, there you go. Everything makes sense. We've backfilled the whole thing. How'd you feel about it?
If we're going to talk real quick about things that don't make sense again, the idea that there even is this grandparents' cabin, the idea that his family house is still being blessed. He was away for 20 years.
Yeah.
Who the fuck was maintaining it and paying the taxes and any of that shit?
That's the part that I'm not clear about either, is when did he get out of prison? Is there a big gap between getting out of prison and whatever, right?
No, because he was in jail for 20 years. He is roughly...
It said 12 years.
12 years,
it said
whatever.
He got 12 years.
12.
Is that like how long it's been? Those kids were little kids, and he was a little kid when he killed his father.
Yeah.
So like, was that only... I don't like that I'm not sure about this, because I can't tell from the show. I don't know how, because if he got out of prison and then saw the paper that the guy was dead and then went and like did the whole thing with Vanya and everything that week, that's ridiculous.
That is how I took it.
Yeah, I know.
I took it
feels
as like, he must have been like 13 or something in that fucking thing. It's traveled back like, the 12 years later he is as old as he is supposed to be in fucking the show right now.
Right.
And that's how it happened.
I hope we'll find out more, and they'll clarify if there was some sort of gap, because you're absolutely right. Who is paying the rent for any of these places? What's happening? It makes no
Even
sense.
if the grandmother was alive up until very recently.
Yeah.
Still, like, what the fuck?
Right. Like,
I don't think from prison you could be doing that.
No. And I would like again some more flashbacky fill-in stuff. Maybe there's probably not time to do that, but just something to happen, because we only have 8, 9, and 10 left. I think this is 7. So like 7. Yes. So I don't know if we have time for that. Maybe they'll just let it go, and I will too, and it will all be fine.
I would wager that's the way it's gonna go.
But hey, it's fine. Again, this is nitpicking for fun, and then I go back into like what I enjoyed about it and what was good about it. But yeah, I there has to be a gap where he gets out of prison, because he owns a store. Yeah, where he's woodworking.
I just assumed that was his dad's store.
Where he just goes there. Yeah. So like I was hoping which
is one more building that has to be explained.
I was hoping grandmother is in the attic or something like that. Oh, you also never see him woodworking, so maybe his dad was doing that. He never did it or something. That would be even right. Crazy stuff like that would have, right? So who knows? We'll never know, and it's gonna bother me for 20 more minutes, and then I'll be done.
Sure.
But that's most of him. So like in this new timeline, he overhears them drop his name now. After right after Vanya storms out, and then he still steals the figurine, but then he says, "Let's go out to the country," and then they peace out. And that's how their timeline.
That was the ultra rare. He didn't have that figure.
Exactly. No, yeah, we find out it's just literally they have their own like figures from Mattel in their house. That's the deal.
That's the dream.
Honestly, but still.
And Ben's figure's like half transformed,
like
with
tentacle arms and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm down.
But he's like scratched out the pictures and burned off the faces, and it's this whole
he's a fucking serial killer, idiot, crazy guy.
He is. He's super deep into it. Yeah.
That's how you gotta be. If you're crazy, go all the way crazy. Destroy memorabilia.
Exactly. Perfect.
Steal, collect, and destroy.
Well, because now he's like putting his plan into action, which I don't even know what his plan is anymore. But yeah, that's him. Do you have anything more for him?
No, that's about all I got for
Harold
him.
Jenkins. So I've kind of broken it up into like different groups
characters.
of people and all that stuff. So this is what I was getting at last time when I made a comment like, I wonder how things are going to change or whatever, right? And like honestly, this far surpassed even my wildest expectations for how like a good things could be.
In which direction? Which venue? Who are we talking about?
People still did stuff, and this will apply to like the next like 3 sections or
Okay.
whatever. So things still happened that I thought would still happen, and people still started down paths. But we got to see like like Allison goes with Diego and Five now to like do something, right? And then because they're gone, Luther still finds the moon stuff, but he's falls apart. Allison's not there to like catch him when he like falls apart.
Yes.
But guess who's there? Is Klaus. Comes in with rope. Hey, I need you to tie me. Oh, hey.
Yeah, because
big guy,
Diego's not
right?
there.
Because Diego's not there, right? And like when Diego leaves, he even says, "Klaus, you're with me." And Klaus is like, "No, bro," or whatever, right? Because he feels like so shitty or whatever, right? So you even see like the remnants of that bond between Diego and Klaus, but then things just don't happen that way, right? It's like so good, and like Klaus, like you've been saying, is so awesome or whatever.
Yes.
Like that scene with him and Luther, both of them, how like all the different emotions, like he's crying and then he gets angry, and then Klaus like no, and like they're doing all that, like that scene was amazing. I loved that shit.
When he's just shirtless dancing in that club, you're like, oh my.
He's so happy. He's so happy.
I want
oh
to
my
know
God.
exactly what's like. It's such a weird image. I'd
go
like
down
to
to Luther,
see
though.
what
Yeah.
they're doing exactly with that.
To make that?
Yeah. Is it all digital? Are there any prosthetics happening there?
Yeah.
Like, what is he
how
doing
much
to,
is
like,
practical
to
or
picture
not?
his like? Because some things are hard to envision that you are this thing. So I wonder
Yeah.
if there's like, even if it's all digital, is he wearing something to be like, no, you're this bulky. Act accordingly.
He must be, because that raver girl's like touching his chest and all that stuff, right? And again, like it's not like, oh, it's an amazing effect. Like I can't imagine. I can imagine, but still,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
that's great. That's
no,
wonderful.
it's well done.
And she makes a comment about like furries or something like that,
Yeah.
and her like boyfriend in like a bowler hat gets all. It's this whole surreal. Everything about that was great. Klaus crawling for the pill.
The
and
way
then
he spots that pill, where it's like,
yeah. No, that's crawling, and then like you start hearing like machine gun fire and all that stuff. But I thought it was still done well, and then runs back. So he like goes to the Phantom Zone. He goes to like the afterlife, basically, right? Little girl God. He thinks he's gonna see his boy.
You knew immediately that was gonna be the dad.
Exactly.
And I thought that was nicely well done.
Yeah.
The dad, because we didn't get enough of the dad.
No.
So I'm like, yes, let's get some more post-fucking-mortem dad. Because that was a good shot. And I'm dying to know what he was going to fucking tell him. And I wonder if he's going to go back to the Phantom Zone and figure it out.
I hate that stuff, honestly. That like tease or whatever
Yeah.
of, I've got one more thing to tell you. Whatever you do, don't forget the following words. And it's gone. Like, come on.
Waking up.
No, I can't. No. Okay. Any scene where anyone is shaving anyone else with a straight razor automatically becomes 10 times more intense and crazy for me, because I don't know if it's really his dad or if it's really where we are.
Yeah.
So, and those like scraping noises of like the thing, I'm like, oh God.
Effective.
Very effective. Black and white, except for his shirt, his like loud tropical shirt.
Yeah,
is
that's
all
a good
popping
effect.
out. Oh man, and like unnecessary and subtle and so like good and stuff.
I want to make sure I call out
Yeah.
when he first sees Luther on the inside of that club. He's like, Luther's like, Klaus, I feel great. I'm so thirsty.
Yeah. Have you ever, do you know what this is? Have you ever taken one of these? Oh, I've never felt so high, but I'm so thirsty. Yeah, it's amazing. No. And like just his
He's
face.
so big. I picture him drinking like 3-4 gallons.
His like dancing face and like his eyes. He was so believable.
I feel like that dude is a dancer. Like,
Yeah.
like he dances as a
because he
hobby, I
dances
think.
in that other scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really him like doing the
Yeah.
whatevers. Yeah. No, it's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
Pretty perfect. But him talking to, Klaus talking to his dad, like, I love in the same episode, we get to see, Reginald Hargraves talking to Harold as a kid, being like, you don't have any power. And, chasing something unattainable is a recipe for disaster. Now get off my property.
And how the audience
And just-
fucking applauds.
They're
and
like,
I'm
woo!
Jesus
They're like,
Christ, he
oh
just
my
told off
God,
a little
screw
boy. Who the
Yeah.
fuck cares?
They are
and when he says, like, get off my
laughing at
property,
him.
he, like, leads him almost to the car. Where I'm like,
Yeah,
is he going to get in that
He like,
car?
pushes him out. He like physically pushes him. Get behind the barricade, boy. He's doing all this great stuff. But then to like juxtapose that, like little things back and forth. His little thing of like, that was foolish of me. I should have burned them all, or something like that. Because we had said that, like,
Yeah.
why is he keeping them all? But then he goes like, is he okay? Like, he's little moment of weakness, little moment of like, wait a minute. And then he's like, do you even care? Do you even know what's going on? No. He's going back and forth.
Yeah.
It was a great conversation. The culmination of it was like, you were never just kids. You were always meant for something more. and you've only scratched the surface, Klaus. He's like being all
I'm
cross
thinking that's
with him.
gonna be like Klaus, and I wonder like how does his dad even know these things? Like,
I don't know.
It's such a weird, and we'll probably never know
because of his study or something, right?
So assuming Klaus is only like you don't even know my final form type of shit.
Yeah.
I wonder if he can like summon the dead to do things.
I know.
Like,
bridge the gap to allow them, because then
can
Ben
he bring back the
right?
dead? Like,
what if he can like corporealize Ben, temporarily, and then Ben can do his monster powers and do something, right? Oh my God!
I don't think it'll happen this season. But there is an IMDb does list there's a second season.
Oh, it's been greenlit?
Apparently.
Perfect.
At the very least, it is in the rumor stage. Because when I went to look for the episode name, it was like, oh, it's the second. Do you want first or second season? I was like, oh, hello, friend.
Yeah, you can't just make an HTML page for nothing. That's definitely happening. I'm happy now.
You know how much effort that is?
Right? It's like 2 clicks.
That takes at least $4 or $5 million.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited because that's that's like Professor X saying about Jean Grey, you've only scratched the surface, right? That's that standard thing, right? But I know Klaus so well now, and I've been through so much with Klaus. It feels so much better and realer and different with Klaus, right? I'm like, hell yeah.
Now that actor brings a lot to the table. He can cover so much of a spectrum.
Yeah.
And like so much more than the other characters are given so far.
True.
Like, I heard a rumor's got nothing going on.
She's been really, I was going to say, because Luther gets some more now, too, between him and, between the fake day and the real day. He's gotten a lot of development and all that stuff. But Allison's really been, and, Diego gets a little more, but he's been sort of, whatevering along.
I like the Diego character. Yeah. He's got more levels that I'm like, what does he even have going on? He had the monocle, and he killed the mother. You got a lot of shit happening. You lost your fucking girlfriend.
And we can shift over to him.
Sure.
He's almost like a deconstruction of the Nightwing thing the more that I think about it. Because, his arm's in a sling now. He's, actually injured.
But it came out and seemed fine. Because they did handcuff him behind his back. So, it wasn't broken.
He kind of winced or something like that. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Tough.
He's really tough, but he's still he's the opposite of Luther, who's living out the dream of being the leader, and he's not quite sure what that means. He's like, no, I'm gonna be the leader just because I said so, right? And he's trying to push it on people, and he jumps through the window, and then gets up and goes and he's picking glass out of his stuff.
It was almost weirdly uncharacteristic. I thought that was so far established.
Okay.
Had he jumped through it, rolled off, and walked up, I'd be like, okay, that seems to be more the Diego that I've
that you know and love,
that I've kind of got, because he seems to be a very proficient, fighter, worker, man of the streets, and that was very slapstick for me. And
I took it
I get the joke, okay.
Well, it's a joke, but I also took it to be he's down a step or he's missing a step because of his arm, and he's been through more and more now, and he's not.
I feel like that's
on his game, but
trying to answer the problem rather than being the reason for the problem.
Refusing to admit that he's not the right person for this job or doing the right thing or whatever. No, we'll see now. He's in jail now, so we'll see how. If this goes one way or the other or whatever. But yeah, he's sort of someone who I thought was going to be instrumental in whatever was going to happen, has been sort of he's been armed now he's in jail. He's been sort of pushed off more, right? Which is interesting.
Well, 5 could have him out lickety-split.
I know.
Presumably, we'll see if that happens at the beginning of next episode, or if he just gets out because he didn't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Which
well, yes, I don't know how they're going to prove that. Yeah,
the
it's
actual
a weird
proof
thing.
he didn't do it.
So I wonder if because the fake day ends with Diego out for a walk with Mom, right, and all that stuff. And here he went out with Allison also at night, but was arrested immediately. I think he only got arrested immediately because he had also talked to the cop earlier or something like that. But it seems a little weird. I don't know.
Didn't the cop earlier say you
they're looking for you? He said that. He said
I don't know if it was because of that. But
yeah. So I'm not sure about if that was meant to be a thing, but what totally is a thing, and I love this so much when this kind of stuff happens. He sees Mom walking past the archway, and he reacts exactly the same way.
Well, that's how you react.
I really love that though. That's this dumb little thing, because if I if I saw someone that I thought was dead or out of commission, whatever, walking past a thing, at the other end of this weird arch thing, I would shout out to them, and be like, "Whoa!" and do something, right? Because that's naturally how I would react. He reacts exactly the same way, and she answers his exact same thing exactly the same way. Only all the circumstances are different.
Yeah, Pogo's not there this time, and he was in the middle of a conversation when he saw her, so it threw off that shit too.
But yeah, exactly. But then he goes off, and like she says the same line, one foot in front of the other, silly. But then instead of him pressing more, and then to have Pogo be like, don't say that, he instead says, Five's been hurt, we have to off camera, and then she goes and like stitches him up because she has like medical training or whatever. Yeah. And you're like, okay, medical program.
And that was something I actually assumed. I'm like, the robot must be a nurse.
Yeah. But everything, certain things happen exactly the same, and they get sidelined for like a different reason, right? But now, like as an audience member, that mom wants to tell them something, right? Yeah. But he's in jail, and Allison's in the car driving up to the cab, right? They're all gone already, right? So Five has to wake up, and maybe that'll happen then or something. I don't know. That's the whole thing. But he's now sleeping off his shrapnel surgery.
And that could potentially lose a whole day.
I know.
Like you're very much in a time crunch here, man.
Even some of that seems like such a stretch. His like tiny body can recover so quickly. But I hope he'll have to just get up and tough it out. But maybe that'll be
teleport.
Just teleport that bullet out of the way. Yeah. But I didn't know that he got winged in like the original thing. But here
he was favoring it like most of the day, so he was assuming there was gonna be something.
No, I knew that when he came back something had happened. I just didn't know it was gonna pay off in this way. But I mean, like in the time cops facility, I didn't see that he got hit or whatever. But totally.
Yeah, it might not have been visually shown there.
So Hazel and Cha-Cha.
Yeah, so they did get the messages still, so that did happen. So the timeline potentially is still preserved as to where he left it. They might actually still be exploded.
I think we even said like, well, they're not, they can't maybe if they do get the messages, like, what are they going to do with that? And it's like, oh yeah, they're going to show us the same day from Hazel's perspective. That's brilliant. That's awful. Awesome or whatever. So you get to see this whole
see how he got away from the shower shoot.
Him in the woods, him in the thing. You see the other perspective of everything. You see him getting his note.
And that is pretty great.
I did think it was a little lame when he finds the other note and like holds them up to each other and like compares them.
Yeah, a little too perfect.
What are you doing here? Yeah, but
that's how you can picture that panel in a comic, though.
I know.
And I was like, okay, I get you're just being true, and I didn't have a problem with it.
This iconic moment or whatever.
I like the character. But I think like the futility of his life seems like it's like the world's ending in a day. Like I guess be as happy as you can for a day, but it seems like you should maybe try to find that briefcase and just get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, I get it, and I get his response to Hazel's like Cha-Cha's like calling him out and all that stuff.
I didn't fully understand. Like her thing felt forced, and it seemed like they used the same like 2 takes of the same like shot because. Ooh. So like there's like she says something like you weak motherfucker and your ugly girlfriend,
your dumb
and then it
whore
cuts to a different angle. Yeah, get out of here with your weak ugly girlfriend and your dumb like. I was like, that's you said the same thing.
You and your dumb whore are gonna be dead in a day anyway, or something like that. Yeah, she's like trying to get him to shoot her, kind of. It's like
yes.
So I got like overtones of like a relationship thing or something like that. Not like literally, but like he convinces her without knowing it or whatever to not shoot him by saying maybe the thing you want is right there in front of you the whole time and you just didn't realize it, and that gives her pause or whatever. But then once he is shacking up with somebody else, she's like, I'm gonna torture that bitch in front of you, you mother, and she goes crazy on him, right? And I got this night because they've been working together for so long. Maybe she had feelings for him and all that stuff. I was like, oh, this is like an interesting like thing or whatever. I liked it. I don't know. I agree with you because part of the thing in the woods too didn't make sense. It seemed like he grabbed a clip off the ground or something. It was very weird.
There was some strangeness there.
Off.
It felt weirder the first time I saw it, I think, than the second time.
Well, things felt weird the first time, and I expected nothing to feel weird this time because now we're showing you why it like felt weird the first time. But things were still kind of weird the second time too. And I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Because he loads his gun, but then doesn't draw the gun. It's just there to be ready for when he's shot in the back. Like he didn't know he was convincing her not to shoot him. It was my point. So I'm like, yeah.
And literally, it looked to me like he picked the clip off from like the stump was already there somehow. And I'm like, how would you have known to do time travel?
No, he wouldn't. It was just weird.
It's weird. There's some serious weirdness going on there.
Yes, I'm wondering what we're going to see, if we're actually going to see her try to kill him, her, or them, or if she's just like, fuck you, and then whatever. Because she can't get back, period.
She's trapped now,
because there's no briefcase to go. There's no place to go back to, and there's no, she doesn't have the briefcase, and she has
There's
to
probably
kill him.
more than one, like, facility, maybe there's not. I don't know.
Hard to say. Very hard to say.
I don't know how much of it was blown up, just some crucial pieces or whatever. So
I wonder if there are other
happens.
backpacks in reserve or travel cases, because it seems like that might be something that's hard to
it's high tech.
build.
It's rarefied,
and if
hard.
time
high
all
tech.
moves relatively, which I don't know if it does.
Yeah. So functionally, I think she's going to be waiting there to show up to ruin something or make something work out at a later date, either this season or next season.
Because her mission now, the only way to get back is to kill Hazel. Like that is how she gets.
As
her
far as she
extraction.
knows, she's like, "Listen, this is my new assignment, and I have to
If
carry
you
it
had
out."
to pick one of them to live, it's hard to say. So if we just go by star power, she is more famous than he is.
That's true.
Which could either mean she's going to live or die. It could be like, well, we could only afford her for so long, so she's going to die.
Oh, there you go.
Or it's like, well, of course she's going to live. She's way more famous than he is.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
So I want in my heart for him to end up allied with the Academy. Yes, I almost said the wrong word again.
I like him better than I like her as well. So.
And then they end up, and she shows up as like a triangulating force between the good guys and the bad guys and wrecks things that they had. Oh, no. Right? With her mask and all that stuff.
Certainly possible. Her one burnt ear.
But it could be this season or next season, honestly. I have no idea what they're going to do. We may never see either of them again.
That is also a possibility. I
doubt it.
I think we will.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get a resolution with them this season, but it's certainly possible. Anything else happened in this episode that is worth noting?
Yeah, so the way it all ends, I guess, right? We should just I did like a quick run down the lists. Luther's out making out with the raver girl in like an alley.
Yeah.
Klaus and Ben are like walking down the street with their hands in their pockets, like fuck, trying to like find it, get everything back together. I love when Klaus wakes up and like the whole club is just staring at him. I'm like, oh shit, is that guy dead?
Yeah.
And like he gets up like, and
it was such a realistic. Like that fight is like not even a fight. He just gets like rolled off the shoulder, hits his head, and he's out. And I'm like, that is how a fight fucking happens with normal fucking people.
Yeah.
And then that other guy's in jail for life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And Five's in bed asleep, sleeping off his surgery.
Sleeping off surgery.
The eyeball's next to the thing, right? As a little. So the eyeball's there mostly as a reminder. Because Vonnie's at the hospital and you see Harold's face turn. The whole thing, I was like, his face is gonna turn. He's gonna have an eye patch. Diego's in jail, being like, "Man, fuck this." And Allison's driving up to. So they got the location of the cabin somehow, I think, right?
Yeah.
And she's going up to see that. So,
as a listed residence linked to his name.
Yeah. So, like, she, with her power, can just solve all the problems.
But she won't use her power.
I was going to say, I know that won't happen, but she totally could do all that stuff.
Certainly could.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what she could do alone up there. Well, certainly she could find the aftermath pretty easily. 4 dead, 1 beaten to eyeballlessness.
Oh, God. Yeah, right? Because she just checks, like, the local whatever and then says, like, oh, well, some crazy shit happened last night. Let's start there, right? Oh, man. There's an eyeballless man now. God. Yeah. Only a few episodes left. We'll see what happens. Do you have any predictions or thoughts or kooky things you think are going to happen?
This show seems to be able to take these hard lefts.
We're in an interesting
predictions
place.
are few and far between for correctness, I think, at this moment.
We are at a particular point here. I think last episode and this episode together serve as this awesome like information for the audience, what ifs plus what dids, and then like this now we know everything and we know where everybody's at and what's happening, but it's open again and anything could happen. We could choose any vein. Like next episode could open with Hazel and the waitress driving down the road. Like you have no idea what's gonna happen next.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. I am super excited, though, because I like the idea. Obviously, the dad did not put his, mental essence into Pogo, but he did orchestrate his own death. So I'm like, yay, good.
Yes, we didn't mention that he killed himself to bring them together, and I think he could have done that by faking his own death. But, whatever would get them in the room.
Well, so now I'm like, okay, so I guess he really is dead, and like, he didn't fake his death because Klaus is talking to him or whatever. But I don't know what the rules are, how that stuff, I don't know. What's happening?
No. If I had to guess, I think we might see Hazel and the waitress somewhere far away and nice in the next episode with Cha-Cha hot on their tail and see them happy and not kill him.
Oh, interesting.
I think we might see something like that.
She goes, damn.
It appeared to me, even with her yelling and stuff, that she cares for him.
That's what I'm saying,
and
right?
That doesn't seem like it's going to be the end-all, be-all.
And she
maybe
hates
they
that he's
both
running off.
go back, like, you really happy you want to stay this way? We have to stop this. Yeah, and then
Let's
during
go.
some part of like an
Oh,
epic
yeah.
battle. But the thing is,
Oh,
when I say
jeez.
during like an epic battle, what would even be the epic battle unless
Yeah.
it appears he has no powers? And like, so who are they fighting in this epic battle?
No, like
What could this last thing be?
I actually think that we're not. I don't want to say we're not in for an epic battle, but I think like traditionally, this show is like not following those traditional like things.
No,
like,
it's certainly
like-
it's not your average show, but
Like
there's
how-
something like he
Yeah.
yanks the obviously Luther yanks an eye out of a head
Yeah.
at some point, and that doesn't even seem like that. Like, why wouldn't he just
Why
snap
would he
that guy
do
like
that?
a twig?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Harold's not making a like mech suit to fight Luther and like a thing that'll block daggers and a thing that'll prevent him from hearing rumor talk. Like
No,
he's
I
not
don't
doing
know.
a weird like Lex Luthor like thing or whatever, right? So like we're not in for some weird epic everyone fights their Bizarro twin thing or whatever. Right. If anything, it'll be like something's happening with Vanya, who no one wants to hurt, and they're talking and
Yeah.
trying to figure out what to do and all
But
that
what
stuff.
would
yeah.
make Vanya do these things? I
Yeah.
don't know.
You've never
I-
believed in me.
I'm interested
Yeah.
to find out, though. I can tell you
No,
that
no,
much.
no. I'm on the edge of my seat. I'm gonna go like this is a show like week to week that I look forward to filming this year, so I
Yeah,
can go
go
maybe
watch the next
later that night and watch the next
Yeah.
episode because I'm like I want to know what's gonna happen. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. That was this episode of the Umbrella Academy. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we will see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.